Yesterday, Randa Jarrar, a Fresno State English professor, made deeply disrespectful statements on her personal Twitter account about the death of former First Lady Barbara Bush. First, the Fresno State community extends deepest condolences to the Bush family on the loss of our beloved former First Lady. Understandably, many people are very concerned and upset about the nature of Professor Jarrar's personal comments. Please know that the university is taking this matter very seriously, and the incident is under review. Yesterday evening, shortly after she posted her tweet, President Castro issued a strong statement emphasizing the fact that Professor Jarrar's expressed views regarding the passing of Mrs. Bush do not in any way align with the university's values. President Castro made clear that the professor's personal comments were made as a private citizen, not as a representative of Fresno State. Professor Jarrar is not teaching any courses this semester. She had previously requested a personal leave of absence for the spring of 2018 semester. The university is a public institution and must follow certain specific procedures in addressing personnel matters, which this is, and we will strictly follow these procedures. Fresno State will allow applicable law, policy, and the requirements of the faculty collective bargaining agreement to unfold, and again, we will strictly follow these laws, policies, and the union agreement. Again, on behalf of the Fresno State community, we understand the concerns and the communications that we're receiving from the community and beyond. And again, we underscore that we are in motion. We are taking this matter very seriously. I will now take any questions.
Well, what kind of considerations are you doing? Is her job in jeopardy? David Town, Chief Lawyer.
Thanks. Repeating your question, which is what are we doing? So in motion, as always, we follow the policies per all of our faculty. They are represented by the collective bargaining agreement, the California Faculty Association, and so we immediately began to follow those procedures when there is a review. So review has begun, and we will strictly follow that. And again, that will require fact-checking and moving forward with those procedures.
Is the goal to remove her from the university?
Say it one more time.
Is the goal to remove her or fire her?
The goal is to follow the policies and to make sure that, again, we will follow all of the necessary requirements to strictly review this and to, again, have an outcome, which will be a personnel matter, and we will not be able to comment until we reach that final understanding.
Dominic McKenzie, one of the things that was posted on Twitter once the storm started coming about was she was tenured, and so she felt as though she could say this without any fear of repercussion. How would you respond to that?
So the faculty, tenured or otherwise, are all, again, represented by collective bargaining agreement. They're heavily unionized. And again, the technical question you're asking me is, does tenure mean that you technically cannot be fired? And the answer to that is no.
So you can't be fired?
You can be fired. There are certain processes we have to follow, but there are certainly situations where a tenured faculty person can be fired.
Is this one of the circumstances where that could take place?
Again, because it's a personnel issue, we have only begun that investigation. I wouldn't be able to comment on that. Appreciate the question. Yes.
Connie Turner, PC 24. How
Connie, yes.
long has the professor taught here at Fresno State?
She was hired in August of 2010. She is an associate professor.
And do we know why she decided to take that leave?
It's a personal requested leave, and we do not disclose those personal requests.
Is there a code of conduct for professors regarding social media or just public statements like that?
We do have codes of social media behavior. Again, one of the things I want to point out here is that what we're most concerned about is we do represent as a university values of respect for diversity. And so at this time, we are really underscoring the fact that that is a core value of the university, and we really seek for the community to understand that.
Provost, Dennis Valera with
Yes,
CBS
Dennis.
47. This is the third professor to kind of get on the grounds of free speech. Is
Yes.
there any kind of discussion happening among staff and faculty here at Fresno State
Yes.
about free speech?
Thanks for asking that. So for years now, and I'm here with my partners from the Academic Senate and also from the Associated Student Body and from the President's Office. And for years, every semester, we have a First Amendment forum. And that forum discusses the responsibility of freedom of speech. So yes, these are discussions. We're actual leaders in the CSU, California State University system, on those freedom of speech forums.
Do you encourage your professors to practice their right to free speech, but yet look at what kind of media storm we're in right now? So how do you have that balance with allowing your professors to say and do what they believe is?
We talk about the responsibility, and this is not just to the faculty, but to our staff and to our students as well. We talk about the responsibility of the First Amendment. We do encourage the fact that all voices do matter, but again, we are, again, a community where we respect diverse opinions and diverse thoughts. And so again, we very much do want to hear the voices of others, but we again, want it to be in a climate of respect.
Provost Zelezny? Ms.
Yes.
Gonzalez, Fox 26.
Thank you.
You mentioned that this is going into a review process. Can you explain for us what that consists of?
Well, it will be a long review. I will share with you. We're at the end of the semester, and what that review requires is that we do need to get together with representatives from the university, including representatives from Academic Affairs, the President's Office, the Office of Faculty Affairs, which oversees our faculty personnel. Always sitting at the table will also be General Counsel from the California State University system, and we'll sit down with the collective bargaining representatives from the California Faculty Association so that we're both understanding what the processes are that will unfold before us and get everyone at the table. And again, that review will be a very thorough, comprehensive review. That is in motion, and again, there will be continued conversations with the professor as well.
Once the review is underway, then what can be the possible outcomes of that? Is there one or the other? Or?
No, there's not. And again, because it's a personnel matter, we are unable to describe hypothetically what the outcome might be. And as we get to the finish line as well with that review, we aren't able to make a public statement about the outcome.
Provost, is it proper for an educator to use cuss words on Twitter and to taunt people who disagree with our Twitter?
Well, you're asking me a personal question. But again, when we talk about freedom of speech and the words that we use, again, we are trying to encourage here at the university for people to use words that are respectful, but there are times when strong statements need to be made, and there are research studies and scholarship on First Amendment in which those words will come up.
Taunting gets you a 15-yard flag in football. What does it get you in academia?
I'm sorry?
Well, she's taunting people on social media. No, I'm a professor. You can't fire me. If she did that in the classroom, is that proper? Did she get her saying she said that in the classroom?
There are mechanisms for review of what faculty say in the classroom. First and foremost, students do have mechanisms by which they can report that unacademic things are being said in a classroom, and there are procedures that we follow for that. Likewise, there are peer reviews by other scholars, both of their teaching and academic work. And so, again, there are proper mechanisms by which we have an understanding and we have documentation of that.
What has the feedback been from the community, from within and without the university on this? Have they been calling your office? Have they been calling President Castro's office on this?
Certainly, the community, as we are very concerned. And again, disappointed and upset by disrespectful language. Yes.
She tweeted that the Department of Homeland Security was tracking her. Was the school aware of this at all?
I don't know anything about that.
Can you tell us, does Dr. Castro want to fire her?
I haven't spoken to Dr. Castro in that exact way, and I haven't heard him say those exact words. What he wants is for us to move quickly and decisively with the processes that we have in front of us, which we are.
Provost, there's a lot of threats online by Fresno State supporters, including boosters and parents, threatening to withhold donations because of this tweet. How do you respond to that? Have you heard from any parents or boosters who are expressing their concerns about this?
We've heard from a lot of people today, and I know we'll continue to hear from a lot of people. And again, we will be listening. We do understand it's a very upsetting situation, and again, we're very respectful of the fact that people are going to have a strong reaction to this.
Are you concerned, though, on the booster end and those who give a significant amount of monetary donation to the university?
But what we're most concerned right now is that we're concerned that, again, we're modeling what our values are at the university, and we hope that that's going to be the foundation of what people will really understand about Fresno State and come to understand that that's really the core here.
Has anybody from the university actually spoken with her?
I have not. She is off campus at this time, and so I, as the provost, who is the chief academic officer at this point in time, have not spoken with her.
Provost, one of the things that she posted about was her right to free speech, and she likes that about Fresno State. She feels protected having that right to free speech here. But while some of the comments were obviously, well, unacceptable, is there a part of this where Fresno State would welcome the free speech aspect? I appreciate the language, the terms, and what have you. That doesn't necessarily reflect Fresno State, but is there an aspect of this that Fresno State would welcome, given that there is a real free speech aspect here?
We all have free speech. You have free speech. Because you're a professor, there's no special free speech. That's what you're asking me. You had a question from the collegian.
Yeah,
Yes.
at what point are you going to make a discussion with her, with the professor?
Again, the first thing that we need to do is we need to sit down with all representative parties, and that likely might include her.
Another question.
Yes, please.
How will her courses be affected next semester?
I'm not sure what her assigned courses are next semester. Again, that is a bit in front of us, and the review has to move forward.
What does she actually teach?
She is a creative writer. She teaches in the English department.
Provost Zelezny?
Yes.
You know, it was just, maybe a year and a half ago or so that we went through this with Dr. Lars. What did the university learn from that in terms of, the backlash that you could get? Because I know Connie mentioned it in the question as well. The university got a huge backlash when Dr. Mychik was making all these statements. What did the university take from that maybe you're putting into play now?
Again, I think what the university learned is that we do have proper policies, practices in place to immediately address these issues, and they are the processes that we're moving forward with. And again, we do understand that this is an unusual climate that we're in the nation. So the likelihood of having a large university like Fresno State, where there is going to be a controversial statement, I think it is something for all of us to learn from, not just the university. It is the entire political climate right now is a very heated one. So again, that's where the foundation of respect and listening to diverse views and understanding our responsibility, how we communicate that, is really underscored.
So a couple more questions.
Provost, what are your thoughts on the trending hashtag boycott Fresno State?
I have not seen that, so apologies, I can't give any thoughts on that.
Last question.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
So some people on social media said that they were planning to protest Fresno State. Is there any plan in place in case they do protest?
So always, and this is one of the things we did learn from when we do have to address these serious issues, is that we always are very mindful of the security of the campus. So already in place are additional security measures. Our chief of police is also a key leader when we face times like these. So thank you for that. So the campus community and its security are very much a priority.
Are you able to elaborate on that in terms of additional security? Is it additional officers that have been called in, or?
We have procedures in place for additional security, again, when we feel that there's a spotlight on us. So again, Chief Huerta, we're really lucky to have, is someone that was immediately brought into this scenario. And again, we're really very appreciative of his great leadership and experienced leadership.
I just want to emphasize, she's not on campus.
No, she is not.
Provost, forgive me, again, where's President Castro and when can we expect to hear from him?
President Castro is at the Chancellor's office for a scheduled meeting with the Chancellor, and he will be returning later this evening. Well, thank you very much.
Does heading down to Bakersfield sound really good right now?
Sorry?
Does heading down to Bakersfield sound really good right now?
They're all universities. Thank you.